He kōna I purangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
Have you heard that quote? You can escape from a prison, but how can you escape from a good story? I'm Stephen Price. I want to tell you about a man who found himself trapped in a really good story. Why couldn't he escape? He was the one telling it. It's 2014. David Lyttle, a struggling builder in the little Manawatu town of Halcombe, answers a knock at his door. What happens then leads him into a shadowy criminal organisation that offers him friendship, a new job, and lots of money.
Oh, mate, it's like having 100 Christmases all rolled into one time of your life.
All they ask in exchange is one thing: the truth.
You see, what happens with people who aren't honest, can't be trusted, or are disloyal to us? Fucking showing the door and they're not coming back, you know? Remember, trust, honesty, loyalty.
David's problem is that he's under suspicion for murder. So what to say? But then Scott, the big boss, makes it easy. He says, mate, couldn't care less if you knocked this boy over. All I want is the truth.
All right. I'll tell you the truth. I did do it.
The truth? But maybe nothing in this picture is the truth. Because Scott is in fact an undercover cop, and David Lyttle has been caught up in a police operation. A Mr. Big sting.
The police have arrested and charged a man with the murder of a man who disappeared 3 years ago.
Is this really a confession? Is David Lyttle guilty of murder, or just greed? How can you find the truth when the stories are spun from a web of lies? And how good are we, and jurors, at working out whether to believe such a confession? Mr. Lyttle Meets Mr. Big follows the prosecution of David Lyttle through to the verdict and its aftermath. It's a case I've been following for more than 5 years. You'll hear the evidence pointing to David and the evidence pointing away. You'll hear about the police's astonishing failures to properly disclose evidence to the defence, even when that evidence pointed to another killer. Mr. Lyttle Meets Mr. Big gives us a window into the police's undercover operations that's never been opened before. We look at the police's tactics and the scenarios they create around David and wonder whether they're genius or evil, or possibly both. In the end, this is a series about stories. The story the undercover police told Mr. Lyttle. The story Mr. Lyttle told Mr. Big. The competing stories the prosecution and defence told the jury. The stories the court tells about the case. The story told in this podcast. Did David Lyttle commit a murder? Or just become trapped in his own story about one? Mr. Lyttle Meets Mr. Big is an RNZ production, written and presented by me, Stephen Price, with support from Victoria University of Wellington and the Michael and Suzanne Boren Foundation. You can listen and follow all RNZ podcasts at Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.